we took 3 or 4 engineers. So we have the projection. So Bhagavad Gita, chapter 12, text 10. Abhyasevi asamarthosi mat karma paramo bhava madartham abhikarmani kurvan siddhim avapsyasi Abhyase abhi asamarthosi mat karma paramo bhava madartham abhikarmani kurvan siddhim avapsyasi Abhyase abhi asamarthosi mat karma paramo bhava madartham abhikarmani kurvan siddhim avapsyasi
Abhyase api asamarthosi mat karma paramo bhava madartham api karmani kurvan siddhim avapsyasi
Abhyasepi asamarthosi Matkarma paramo bhava Madattam api karmani Kurvan siddhim avapsyasi
Abhyasepi asamarthosi Matkarma paramo bhava Madartham api karmani Kurvan siddhim avapsyasi
Mataji.
It's too small.
It's too small.
Zoom.
Abhyase asamarthosi mat karma paramo bhava madartham abhikarmani kurvan siddhim avapsyasi Abhyase api asamarthosi mat karma paramo bhava madartham abhikarmani kurvan siddhim avapsyasi.
Anyone else? Abhyase in practice. Abhi even if. Asamartha unable. Asi you are. Mat karma my work. Parama dedicated to. Bhava become. Madartham for my sake. Abhi even. Karmani work. Kurvan performing. Siddhim perfection. Avapsyasi you will achieve. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. If you cannot practice the regulations of Bhakti Yoga, then just try to work for me, because by working for me, you will come to the perfect stage. One who is not able even to practice the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga under the guidance of a spiritual master can still be drawn to this perfectional stage by working for the Supreme Lord. How to do this work has already been explained in the 55th verse of the 11th chapter. One should be sympathetic to the propagation of Krishna consciousness. There are many devotees who are engaged in the propagation of Krishna consciousness and they require help. So even if one cannot directly practice the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga, he can try to help such work. Every endeavor requires land, capital, organization and labor. Just as in business, one requires a place to stay, some capital to use, some labor and some organization to expand. So the same is required in the service of Krishna. The only difference is that in materialism one works for sense gratification. The same work, however, can be performed for the satisfaction of Krishna, and that is spiritual activity. If one has sufficient money, he can help in building an office or temple for propagating Krishna consciousness, or he can help with publications. There are various fields of activity and one should be interested in such activities. If one cannot sacrifice the results of his activities, the same person can still sacrifice some percentage to propagate Krishna consciousness. This voluntary service to the cause of Krishna consciousness will help one to rise to a higher state of love for God, whereupon one becomes perfect. Om Ajnanatimidandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthavidam Yena Bhudale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadami Swapadandigam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yudapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajadam Sahagana Raghunathan Vidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaidam Savadhudam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalitam Shri Vishakam Vidamscha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhudale Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshadarini He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpade Govesha Govika Kanda Radha Kanda Namostute Tapta Kanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpadayubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Thank you. So, thank you all for coming today in this amazing weather, and I'm so grateful for this opportunity to talk something to you. And I want to offer my obeisance to the senior Vaishnavas in His Grace Kaivalya Prabhu, Sugata Prabhu, and there are Vamana Prabhu, and there are other senior devotees here, Prabhupada disciples, I offer my obeisances at your lotus feet.
Hare
So, thank you. And so I'm asked to give an update on the construction project. So I thought, what verse would be better than this one?
Yeah.
So here, Lord Krishna is giving an out for people like us. So how many of us think we are true practitioners of Bhakti Yoga? No hands?
That was great.
So, but we all put tilak, we all have the external dhoti, kurta, we do arati, we do, right? So why are we not practitioners of Bhakti Yoga? Because it comes with, the key word here is the regulations. And in order to attain true Bhakti Yoga, for Kanishta Adhikaris, for us, then all the Lord is giving, saying, okay, do this. And we are saying, oops, that's too hard, Lord. Give me something lighter. So the Lord is saying, okay, do this. And we are saying, still, can we negotiate this? Then the Lord is saying, do this. And we are saying, that also sounds hard. So the Lord is saying, okay, do this. And so the Lord is being very merciful. And so if you look at these verses, how these verses come upon, you can see that so it's giving different options. If you cannot practice the regulations of Bhakti Yoga, which all of us agreed we cannot, right? Just try to work for me. So what does working for the Lord mean? So that's what this verse says. Because by working for me, you will come to the perfect stage. It says, thank you. Thank you. So it says, just in business, one requires a place to stay, some capital to use, some labor and organization to expand. Same is required in the service of Krishna. So Prabhupada gives it a good example. If one has sufficient money, he can help in building an office or temple for propagating Krishna consciousness. So this is our way out. If we all agree we are not true practitioners in the strictest sense of Bhakti Yoga, working for Krishna means you do our same thing what we do. We earn some living, and if there is some leftover, we use it for propagating Krishna consciousness, which means helping to build a book distribution, helping the temple, build a temple, right? The Catholics have a word for this. What do they call it? Tithe? How do you say it? Tithe. So the priest will come to you on Sunday. If the priest doesn't see you on Sundays, you will get a call, right?
Yes.
And if you come and you didn't give the tithe last month, what will the priest do? He will nicely ask you, right? What's happening? But for instance, in Germany, how many are here from Germany? No Germany. Germany, when you sign up for a job, you have to say what church you are affiliated with. And just like in your paycheck, you deduct your FICA is deducted, right? Your social security is deducted, right? Just like that, they deduct the percentage from your paycheck and then they send it to the church. So it's a very official way of doing it. Talking about FICA, how many of you first got your first paycheck in your life and you said, who is FICA? Why is he taking my money? How many of you have said that? You know the feeling? You thought you are making your first job, X amount of money, and you look at your paycheck and you say, all these deductions, right? So like in Germany, this is very efficiently done by the government. And many churches in the US also, there's a membership fee, right?
Some.
But can we get away with paying nothing?
That's between you and God.
No. In a church,
It's between you and God.
Correct.
They'll preach heavily on it,
Right.
and they'll pass around the plate.
Yeah.
But it's between you and God.
Right. But there is subtle peer pressure, right?
Yeah.
True?
Oh, well, yeah. You should want to.
They give out little envelopes.
Yeah.
You put the money in there, you sign your name on it.
Yeah.
And you put it in the basket.
Yeah,
That's what we
exactly.
used to do.
Yeah. How many were in Catholic churches before? What did they do? How did they collect?
They send you envelopes for every Sunday of the month, and
Yeah.
you put your money in, and you put it in a collection on Sunday.
Okay. And
And if you miss Sunday Mass,
yeah.
you cannot take the shadow until you go to confession.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So, what is the equivalent rules we have in our temple?
We should get envelopes.
There's and I'm not educated where, but somewhere it says you should give this much % of your income.
Yes.
Right. But the point is, how many of us give that percentage of the income?
I'm just saying, they're all the same as in the Christian church and the Catholic church. They have their rules. Well, there are rules in the Vedas as well.
In Hare Krishna temple, I don't know of a rule. Is there a rule?
Yes. Householders give 50% of their income.
That's not a rule, right? So,
right? We give it to you.
but see, that's why the way I was trained in Hare Krishna temple 40 years ago when I walked in there, this is a great place for a Sunday dinner. That's the way I was trained. And the idea of giving something to the temple didn't even occur. I just went there and I would fast the whole day and I would feast on Sunday. That was my sadhana. And they said, feasting is part of devotional service. I said, sign me up. So that was the way I was trained in Hare Krishna. Nobody ever told me I should give X percentage of my income to the temple. Nobody ever told me. People have encouraged me for Rath Yatra, for somebody has specifically. So what I'm trying to say is, we have been trained not to offer voluntarily. Because our attitude is, Krishna is our Father. We are all children of God, Lord Krishna. Aham bija pradapita. So we are taking it very literally, right? This is our father's property. We don't have. How many of you feel like when we are kids, we go and take, we are just takers from our parents, right? True? And we expect the parents to forgive us for all our sins or offenses, right? So the way I was trained in Hare Krishna movement was, Lord Krishna is our Supreme Father. So I treated him just like my father. Take. Take it for granted. So until some kind soul after many, many years of doing that, pointed it out that this place runs by the charity, goodwill of people like you who can afford to give. And so somebody had to specifically tell me that this verse, that basically what Prabhu is saying here, it's our duty to give, to propagate Krishna consciousness. So our temples is a good place to preach for new people. So Prabhupada said, when a new person comes into the temple, they should not be able to walk out because they will be that much stuffed with prasada, right? I don't think I have come out of that cycle yet. I'm still following that rule after 40 years. But my point is, it took somebody to come and specifically instruct me that it's your duty to support. This is not a dinner place. This is not where you come and demand things from the Lord. This is a place where we express our love. So just like our parents, when they are old, we take. When we grow up, we have incomes. Are we still going to go to our father and take? At that point, we have to be giving them, supporting them, right? In the same fashion, when we first come to the movement, we are all takers, right? So once we get the blessings, we get a job, we get this, we get that. What's our duty? Share the root, right? Who is giving us all this? Krishna. So once we have that, then it becomes a loving exchange. Not that Krishna needs somebody's money, right? He's Lakshmi Sahasra. He has thousands of Lakshmi serving him. So why does he need our money? It's for us. It's an opportunity for us to serve, right? And many people are businessmen and many people are farmers. So they know the principle, right? When you put a seed, you're not going to eat the seeds. You are going to not cook it. You're going to keep it, because when you put one seed, 100 new crop comes from it, right? So lovingly giving to the Lord is similar to planting the seed, right? If Krishna wants, he can give us millions of dollars, right? But why does he need this $2,500 from us? So now that we are building a temple, it's a great opportunity for us to serve the Lord. If you get a phone call from your father and say, son, or daughter, I'm trying to build a new house, would you want to support him? If you have some savings, would you want to share some with him?
Yes.
Or her? Right? So it's the same principle. We give it not because Lord needs it, not because the community needs it. And that's the other funny part. So one person was saying, everybody else will support. So why should I support? Right? So there was this funny story. They were making a big yajna in a village and they needed milk. So people were supposed to bring milk and pour it into a common vessel. So one guy thought, so hundreds of people are going to pour milk. So if I pour water, there will be no problem, right? Because there's so many hundreds of people pouring milk. What happened? Everybody thought like that. Let the others bring milk. Let me pour water. Nobody will know. So what happened? Instead of collecting milk, they collected water. So this is in the Panchatantra story. So, so the point is, we are not offering results of our karma, the fruits of our karma, which comes as a paycheck, right? Bits in a bank software, right? What is money? Now money is bits in a bytes in a bank compute server, right? That's money today, correct? So the point is, share some bytes with Krishna when we can. That is the principle taught here. So with that, I just wanted to show you the our construction person, Babish is here. Babish Soni. So I wanted to show you some progress on the construction work we have done. But before we get into that, I want to make one point that there are 4 types of people in this room. The first type are the people who have pledged and who have donated 100% of the pledge. So we wanted to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Because of your effort is what you see here in 3 dimensions. If you ever wish to increase your donation, now is the time, because we are ready to close the box for the heavy winter in February and all, and so now is the time. The second type of people, category of folks, devotees, have pledged and contributed a portion of the pledge. And it's great. So you are attempting to fulfill your promise to Krishna. But if you want to, please complete it. This would be the right time. And third category of people are a handful of people who have pledged and have donated 0. So that's only a handful, thank God, for a small number of people. So we humbly entreat you to, if you, in the, heat of the moment, if you overpledged, please reconsider to a manageable pledge amount and please contribute something so that your promise to Krishna is kept. And if you promised $50,000 and you want to actually give $5,000, it's okay. Just humble request is to please return the gift for $50,000 because it costs the temple a lot of money to give those heavy duty gifts. But we want you to consider something you can satisfy. Because it's a promise made not to the construction committee but to the Lord. None of us are doing it for any personal sake. The fourth category of people have not pledged anything or new to this and have not donated anything for the construction. Now is the time. So the forms are in the office. So please sign up, and because now is the time. As you can see, now is the time to donate for the cause. Is there a fifth category I missed? I don't know. So with all your blessings and with all the hard work of people like Babish and the construction committee, Kaivalya Prabhu and Vishnugada Prabhu and the rest of the team, we have made a lot of progress. We just want to show you through the just advance. The next slide. So you can see when we broke ground after Janmashtami, this was the first groundbreaking, and you can see the excitement. Next one. And here is one of our bigger donors, and there is Babish and his son, who is his assistant, and he is pretty smart. He not only helps to send invoices to the people, the workers, he sends invoice to his dad also. And he says payment due, and he says interest to be paid. So he's only 11, but he still calculates interest and he gives it to his dad. So it's pretty. So we have good help. And in summer he worked in Babish's office, helped a lot with the paperwork. You can see that the trench for the basement, that was about 14 feet, and we hit rock at the bottom. So it's pretty. We went pretty deep. We cannot do too deep because of this 100-year-old building, this one, and 120-year-old building next door. So we are limited to how close we can dig and how deep we can dig. We can't put dynamite on the rock because that will shatter the whole, So we were limited how deep we can go. But we went as deep as we could possibly go. So next slide. So you can see the concrete being poured. So again, these are, you will never see these things again. Next slide. So you all have seen, once we had the basement concrete work done in September, and so then we put steel beams on top. Why steel beams? Because have you ever been to temples where when people jump up and down, you can feel the ground shifting? So we wanted to make sure that never happens. Some temples, you jump up and down, start dancing, the deities start dancing. Have you seen that? Which place happens? Some temple it happens because it's all on one floor. When the floor goes up and down, a few inches actually, the deity starts. So that's not a good thing, right? You don't want deities dancing with you. So what we did is we have the temple floor on one platform, which is on steel. So we have 40 steel joists holding it. You can have elephants dance on it. Nothing will happen. And the deities and all are on a separate platform. So that's why we built it. It was designed purposely for that reason. And in the next slide, so we have you see on the right hand side, top right hand side, you see the double doors, and that will be our entrance, big grand entrance to the basement hall. In the future, we can make it like a big community hall, we can rent out, etc. I'm talking future. I'm not talking part of this phase. This is a dream later. So this is how the inside looks now. And unfortunately, we can't take people in because of insurance restrictions. And it's not safe. It's a hard hat area. But you can see the pictures. We have ceiling up to 18 feet ceiling. So it will be a very grand look. And next slide. So this is the view from the kitchen side. We have a lot of light. You can see the windows on top. So can everyone see?
Yes.
So we will get a natural light during daytime because it's very miserable if you walk into a room and then you have to turn on light during full sunlight, right? So this will have a lot of sunlight. And the next slide, this is the view from the back. And again, once we finish it, you will see, next slide. This is the view from the parking lot side. So you see the bottom, the double door, that is the basement double door entrance. And we will have an entrance on the right side. You see that opening? That will be another entrance. So we have, that's the entrance, number 2, and we will have entrance from the front. So next slide. Again, view from here. What you see the opening there, you want the temple to go up? Yeah, that opening is a big window, and Srila Prabhupada's Vyasasana will sit inside that. And when you look at Srila Prabhupada with the light coming, it will look like a halo coming around. And the sun comes from this side. Next slide. So that is the entrance. Next slide. So you can see that we have 3 double doors, 3 sets of double doors in the front. And so we want to make it a grand entrance. And it will be stone and stucco in the front. And we can make this side will be very grand when we are done. So any others? So I wanted to leave some room for questions. And Babish, you want to add anything?
No.
So I just have to tell you how grateful I am to Kaivalya Prabhu and Vishnugada Prabhu for giving me this opportunity to serve this temple like this. I think it's a greatest fortune I had. And the other blessing is having to work with somebody like Babish. He's just an amazing, what I say is a Gujarati businessman, and he's a second generation, so he has the best of both worlds. He knows exactly how to manage money, he knows exactly how to manage the people. Some of these people are pretty interesting. I'm a scientist by training, so I'm used to managing a different type of people. So the other day, I had a very good experience. We had an Albanian worker here, and he was trying to show me something. And he said, "Oh, you are too fat." And I said, "Thank you." I haven't had anybody give me such an honest assessment to my face in my life. This is my kind of guy. So, it tells it as it is. So, but is amazing worker, not greedy. We only had one problem with one guy who talks and talks and talks. That was, and he kept on giving lectures about his work and stuff. And he would keep calling and calling and calling. Oh God, that was, so finally his work was finished. He would rather talk than do the work. Everybody else we had, they just want to do the work, get the check, and get out of it. It was quite a humbling journey to get to this point. And I just want to thank all of the donors who have given money for this opportunity to do this. And we want to finish this, and we want to close the box so that we can work inside in the weather. Babish, anything you want to add? Any questions I can answer, or Babish can answer?
Can I just ask you about the budget for it? How much you have already gotten and how much are you still looking for?
Good question. I didn't pay her to ask the question. So our originally we said 850. That was just the building, right? 850 for the building. That estimate was done 3 years ago. So with the price of wood has gone up, other things have gone up. Now it becomes close to 950. That will be the cut for building the building, the actual. We have gotten 575. 575 we have gotten. We have spent close to 375 for the construction, actual building cost. I'm talking after the fundraising dinner. So for the what you see for the building. and we have about 200 in the bank, which is enough for us to close the building, so that we can just the exterior, we can buy the external doors and we can do the wrapping, and we can close the building. So we need another 375, 400. That is the amount of money we need. As I said, a handful of donors who pledged huge amounts haven't come through. So that is what is messing us up right now. So that is where we are. Does that answer the question? Mother? You have a question?
No, I'm just so happy to see it's happening.
We are too. But there are lot of so when we do service to, Shweta Mataji knows this. When you try to do something for the Lord, people are not standing there and clapping. There is always somebody who wants to make your life miserable. True?
Yes,
True, Mother?
yes.
I
am a professional misery maker.
Mataji, you have so many years of experience in the consciousness. When you sincerely want to try to do something, there's always one person, right? Is that true? It's not just so what does that tell you? See, you have to see Krishna is living in everyone's heart as the super soul, right? When nothing happens without the permission of the Lord. True?
Krishna.
Isn't that true? Every one of us, we know even a grass leaf doesn't move without the permission of the Lord. True? So if that is true, why is there somebody always wanting to make your life miserable and trying to obstruct your service to the Lord? Shweta Mataji, any answer? Why does it happen?
He's testing you.
Who is testing you? The Lord is testing. Actually, Maya is testing you. What Maya Devi, what is her job? Her job is to keep you in illusion in the world. We know this from our philosophy, right? So, if we are not pure, if our sadhana is not great, we won't be able to do service to the Lord. If we are not pakka, it's just like a superconductor. What is a superconductor? If you know physics, you know superconductor that conducts electricity, it becomes a conductor. A superconductor is so pure, it doesn't even have one single molecule or atom of another substance. It's so pure. It can conduct unlimited amount of energy. So that's what a pure devotee is like Srila Prabhupada. There is no contamination. The self, the super self, the subtle body, everything has no ego. There is no material, I need somebody to praise me, I need somebody to recognize. None of that, not even a drop of that. That is a pure devotee. What are we? We always have something in our minds. Even if it may not be conscious, it may be subconscious. Oh, I did this, therefore I don't have to chant today. I can skip. I can do it, make it up tomorrow. How many of you think like that? I do. How many people think like that? So this is because to increase our purity, to purify us for our benefit. That's why we get these obstacles. True, Dr. Mahajan? So the reason you have that one person in your path, the Lord lives in that person as the super soul. And the Lord is directing that person's wanderings. True? Why does the Lord make us do that? It's for our benefit. So we don't get egoistic. We don't go, I am such a big devotee. I am such a... That's the only conclusion as Srila Prabhupada has mentioned. Again, the biggest challenge all of us have is to conquer our ego. Tell me about it. The biggest challenge all of us have is to conquer our egos. We always have a reason to do something. Oh, I gave a nice, I cooked a nice dish for the Lord. As soon as that I come into the equation, we lose it. We become a semiconductor. How do you make a semiconductor? You take a pure material and you dope it, right? What is the doping material for us, our souls, and our subtle bodies? It's the ego, isn't it? So we can't conduct this super energy coming down like Srila Prabhupada did without affecting. Actually, the history of Hare Krishna movement, you look at those initial hippies who became such pure devotees and who fell down. Why is that? They couldn't conduct this. You have to keep that purity. As soon as you get some contamination, that superconductivity becomes semiconductor. If you are a true sinful person, you become a total non-conductor. Right? True? So this is why when you get obstruction in your path, in devotional service, you can be assured you are doing something right. You are doing something worthwhile. That is why Maya is bringing it in front of you. We have two choices that time. We can give up or we can fight. Abhyasena vairagyena. And it is a time to look at our sadhana, seva, satsang, sadachar, all the things. How are we? Are we trying to become a semiconductor or a superconductor of the divine power? Because that's intense. That's so much energy. In order to conduct that, you have to be so pure. Ordinary, that's why this whole movement is a purifying exercise. Temples are a place to give love, get love, and associate with like-minded people. We were in another temple, Central Jersey, 11 o'clock, in between breakfast and lunch. So we sit, is there some prasadam left? There were some scraps there. We took some scraps of the prasad. It was heavenly. It was delicious. I wanted to see who made this. Then I went into their kitchen. I saw this young, obviously professional looking lady making lunch prasadam. And so I asked her, Mataji, did you make the breakfast prasadam? She said yes. And you could taste the love with which that was made. That is true movement. That is true Hare Krishna. That was the way Boston Temple was in 1980, back when I was there. It was done with love, not like, oh, in the schedule it's my turn to cook. Oh my God, I have to cook this. If you cook like that, will the prasadam taste heavenly? Right? Any service we do, if we want to show I am so good in what I do, I want to show it in the temple, we won't be able to succeed. We won't be able to do that. This is a place of love. You do it like a mother does for the kids. All the mothers here, when you do something for your kid, you are not even thinking, what do I get it in return, right? The thought never crosses your mind. You're doing it out of pure love, or a lover does for the loved one. So this is the true spirit of a true Hare Krishna place, which many of we have experienced. Now the challenge for all of us is, how do we make this temple, ISKCON Philadelphia, Radha Sharad Bihari's place, such a temple? And it's funny, some people say, oh, we need a president. So we are waiting for a guy like Sikhi who will come and tell us, do this, do that, do this. Actually, how will we make this temple? Okay, we have a new building. Let's say we raised the other $400,000, we got the building certificate of occupancy. How do we change the mood of this place? Where does it start? Any idea? New president, new GBC? Where does it start? Huh? It starts here. It starts in every one of our hearts. That's where it should start. We should look at what are we doing to make this different? If you are waiting for a new president to come and fix things, forget about it. We will muddle along like this. Why is Central Jersey able to have 60 Brahmanas, initiated Brahmanas? They have no problem. There is not a single person living, actually there are two now, but initially there was not a single person living there. All the people are employed, husband, wife, both working. They take turns. 6 offerings are made to the deities. Arathis are done on time. There is a schedule. They sacrifice, they come 3 o'clock in the morning, change dress. They can run it. Why can't we? Why are we expecting, we are like the story of the people who pour water into the pot, thinking that let somebody else pour the milk. Why are we waiting for some magic to happen from the heavens in order to change our temple? Where is our love? Where are we showing the love to our Lord? I'm not saying nobody is doing that. But what I'm saying is, there is this general feeling, oh, I am not made such and such position, therefore I am not doing this. I don't have a president telling me, beating me to clean this, therefore I don't have to clean this. The garbage is come here on a Wednesday, garbage is stinking from Sunday, because there is no Sikhi to tell somebody to take out the garbage. I see, for the construction we come here during weekdays, and I see all kinds of stuff. Now, then I see Central Jersey, and I'm like, what's the difference? Why are we so different? 40 years of conditioning that somebody else will take care of it? Why don't we feel it like our own home? True? Am I being unreasonable? True. Why is it so hard to get monthly donation? If somebody makes $20,000, to give $50 a month for the temple maintenance, monthly pledge, why is it such a big deal? $600 a year. Anybody can afford that. Anybody with an income. True? Why is ISKCON Philadelphia? We can say, blame it on past, we have all this legacy, we have all these things. True. But how do we get out of this hole? But we have living examples of other temples coming from nothing. Right, Mother? And flourishing. All we need is, again, until someone told me, it's my duty not to just come to the temple and fill my belly. It's my duty to contribute to the temple. I didn't get it. Our job is to propagate this movement. Our job is to continue this. If we got something good, it behooves on us to pass it on, right? Somebody opens the door for you, what do you do? And you open the door for the next person, right? It's the same way. The Lakshmi is Chandra. What does that mean? Goddess Lakshmi is Chandra. What does that mean?
Stay at one place.
Are we trying to lock her up in our savings account? Without giving to, where does she belong to? Which wife would be happy without joining her husband? So where does Lakshmi ji belong to? So why is it such a rocket science that to contribute to the temple is such a difficult thing for us? And we talk all this high funda philosophy. Isn't that interesting? Thank you. Hare Krishna.